Let me say this simply. If making decisions in your business feels heavier than it should, if committing to things feel more draining than exciting, if you keep circling back to questions you thought you'd already answered, there's a good chance it's not because you don't know what you're doing. It's because you're trying to make strategy decisions without something solid underneath them. And most people don't realize that what's happening. So, what identity actually is when people talk about identity in business, it usually turns into branding. How you show up, how you position yourself, what story you tell, how you talk, how you present yourself. That's not what I mean here. Identity in practice is much, much quieter than that. It's a part of you that decides before you actually think, the part that knows what you can tolerate and what you can't, even if you keep overriding it. It's why some decisions feel cleaner and others feel like you're dragging something uphill. And so here's what I see a lot: two people follow the same strategy, the same advice, the same structure. One feels steady, the other feels constantly tense. That's not discipline and it's not intelligence either. That's identity doing different work underneath the same plan. I've had a client who stepped into a program and they noticed in that classroom that a couple other people were striving and succeeding more than them. And although they had the same book, the same teacher, they went to the same study group, attended the same weekly programs, they still realized that something is off. So when identity isn't settled, strategy has nowhere to really land. When your identity has no structure, no formation, no solid ground, strategy has nowhere to position itself. So you hesitate, you revisit decisions, you keep adjusting things that don't actually need adjusting. From the outside, it can look like inconsistency. From the inside, it feels like something just isn't clicking. And so, the part most people don't like hearing, most strategies are designed for the version of you that comes later. The version that has more capacity, that went through that growth, that completed its phase, more tolerance, more internal stability. So you try to pull that in and live that version now, even though you have a vision of that. And then you wonder why it feels like work all the time, like hustling. You have your up phases and then you surely have your down phases. That doesn't mean the vision is wrong. It means the order matters. You can't build a life for a future version of yourself and expect your current self to carry it effortlessly. Your body usually knows before your mind does, and this is extremely important. Your body reacts before your brain explains. Tightness, fatigue that doesn't match the workload, the subtle sense of bracing before decisions. Those aren't mindset problems, they're signals. Your intuitive GPS system is always active. That's something you're asking of yourself doesn't quite fit yet. A lot of people, capable people, burn out not because they've pushed too hard or they're trying this new thing, it's very overwhelming, but because they kept overriding these signals in the name of growth. What refinement actually looks like here, refinement isn't reinventing yourself. It isn't picking up a new identity and rolling with it. It isn't taking on physical, materialistic attributes and housing it as your home. It's not becoming something new. It's not becoming someone new. It's getting honest about who you actually are when pressure shows up. Not who you want to be, not who you were 5 years ago, who is here, right now. That version of you already has limits, already has standards, already has things that feel like non negotiables. Refinement is learning to build from that reality instead of constantly arguing with it and trying to erase it and bury it. So let's enter in on the refining table. Let's pause. If we were sitting together, I'd ask you this, and I wouldn't want an answer right away. Maybe sit with it for a week, ponder it a few times a day. But where are you trying to use strategy to compensate for something that actually needs to settle inside of you first? Just notice what comes up. No fixing, no actions, just awareness. This season isn't about doing more. It's about building things that don't require you to keep overriding yourself to maintain them. Next, we'll talk about how this shows up in learning, in decision making, and in the way people over prepare instead of stabilizing. For now, let this sit. You don't need to rush it. Just return when it comes back to mind.